And now we move to session number 7, which comes under the title of Managing Waste in a Simple and Sustainable Method. Sonia Nasser, the engineer and executive director of the Waste Management Agency in Ras Al Khaimah.
Thank you very much for staying. I know it's like the tea time now. What time is it, like 3:30? Like it says, I'm going to be talking about keeping waste management simple and sustainable. And I really like the previous presentation talking about different ways that we can solve problems, because waste is something that every person in this room has created. The average, if you're living in the UAE, is every person in this room is making 1.5 to 2 kilos per person per day. So it's a very big issue that we're facing, especially with the 2030 strategy for the Emirate, for the UAE, which will be to get to zero waste. So if you're in a hurry and you just need to get out, at least stay till slide 8, where I will reveal all the secrets of what simple waste management is. But I was asked to speak here because we really developed this innovative program in Ras Al Khaimah, not because of what I know, and I've been in the business 30 years, I'm from California, but because we used a lot of young people and this very innovative program we have with Switzerland, with École Polytechnique Fédérale Lausanne. And I'll let you know that something new is coming that will involve students in the UAE as well. So let me figure this out. So the Emirate of Ras Al Khaimah has about 400, a little bit less than 400,000 people. And it's the only emirate that collects all the waste itself. We have our own waste system. We have our own treatment system. We have a material recovery facility. That's a sorting plant. And we have the landfills. And the government, or our department, Waste Management Agency, we manage all of it. I guess that's the translator I keep hearing. And these are the people that work in the office and drive it. But when we started the program in 2014, I was the only engineer that was not a driver, laborer in the field. We were like 99.9% field people with no planning, no engineering. And then, you know, we had Vision 2021 come, and then we got Dr. Thani as the Minister of Climate Change and KPIs, and we had to submit roadmaps to the ministry, and then we needed to have an engineering department. But, you know, I couldn't do it all by myself. But what I want to talk about is this: you need people with ideas to make programs work, and you have to nurture them and try to find them. And at that point, I think Hamda will be our first Emirati engineer in our department. You know, we had 0. We're the only department with no Emiratis in the business. So that was really important for us to get at least an Emirati within our ranks. So today, you know, it's not just about, you know, I've prepared myself to come and tell you what I know about waste management. I don't know what you're planning to get out of it. But after a while, after going to conferences for 20, 30 years, you get tired of coming to these things. And so I always go to a place, when I go to a conference, this is what I want you to, I'll give you some advice. I always try to meet at least one new person when you're here, network. You know, in between the sessions, sometimes you'll learn more than what you learn at some of the sessions. And then try to learn one new thing. And this is what I always go to every conference, sometimes your company forces you to go. And so just keep that idea, even when you're meeting somebody, okay? So before you leave, try to talk to one new person in this session. Oh, that's not mine. I don't know whose presentation that is. That's mine. Okay, this is a drawing. You know, there's a saying, a picture tells 1,000 words. A picture is worth 1,000 words. This is from the 1970s from Germany. In Germany, they really wanted to, in one picture, show you what it's all about. And this picture, what it's showing you is a dozer, and then to indicate that the time is coming to an end for landfilling. And when the UAE benches against the best countries, they're benching against Germany, Switzerland, Norway, all of these countries that have almost 90%, 75 to 90% diversion from landfilling. But they've been at it for 40 years. You know, when we got the Vision 2021 target of 75% diversion from landfilling, that was like 2014, 2012, we started working on it. So we needed to get that very quickly. You know how Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum is like. I think we proposed, they got all of the Emirates people who control waste management, us and the other 6 Emirates, and they asked us to propose a target. And we said, I think, you know, by 2021, we can do 35%. It's the average. That's what the US is doing right now. And he rejected it. He sent it back. He's like, no, 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 no. You will go further. So that's how we got the 75%. But something new is coming, and you'll hear that in a bit. So end of landfilling is the target. This is our landfill in Ras Al Khaimah that takes all the municipal waste. We were the first emirate to have a lined landfill. That's like from US EPA standards from 2001. His Highness Sheikh Saud Al Qasimi had that built because he had gone to California and he saw how we were doing landfilling, and he had one built for Ras Al Khaimah. We didn't tell anybody, but you can see the new cell with the liner. So what's in here is about 2 million tons of waste. If you ever threw anything away in Ras Al Khaimah in those years, I'm saving it for you. It's right here. So we ended up having to build this new cell in 2018. We opened it. We spent 27 million because people were still creating a lot of trash. I hope it's the last cell we have to build. So this is the problem. And I'm showing you this because I want you to think about this quote from Einstein, because he said when he had to solve a problem, he didn't think about the solution first. He said if he had an hour to solve a problem, he would think about the problem for 55 minutes, and he would think about the solution for 5 minutes. So no, we're always in a hurry to run like, okay, what's the solution? But you really, if you're an engineer, what's the problem? You know, it's always define the problem, state the problem. Do you understand the problem? Are you solving the problem? So that's how Einstein thought. So I think this is how we really need to think about waste management. This is the problem, okay? Now, how are we going to get to a sustainable solution? One way is learn about it. You know, this is a free, amazing conference summit that's being given today. Nobody had to pay anything to come here, which is amazing. You know, you're getting all these free information. And there's this book that we give out that's free online. It's from Jonathan Scott, and also the author from Switzerland that also came up with the term sustainability. And there's the website. There's free books. There's free videos. If you want to learn everything about sustainable, it's available to you on the internet. You know, when I was in school, you had to go to the library and pick up a book and learn. Now you can get stuff instantly. And one of the themes for Expo 2020, there's 3 themes. One of them is sustainability. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of information there. But this is a book, you can download it. It's in Arabic, English, Polish, Chinese, Mandarin. Okay, so it's free to you. And these are the 2 big sustainable development goals that we target in waste management. And like somebody had said before, you didn't used to hear about these SDGs all the time. Now everything is linked to meeting these requirements. So here's, if you had to leave in a hurry, this is the 2 rules of waste that I learned from being in this business. The first rule is don't make it, and the second one is don't move it. Because then that's the biggest cost in waste management, is to try to transport it, 50, 100 kilometers. You're wasting so much money. You're creating a huge carbon footprint. And this is something I learned not from another engineer, not from a book, but from a planner when we were working on a project in Northern California for somebody, I don't remember who. And whatever your core business, or if you're a psychologist, engineer, planner, you tend to only listen to people in your field. But to solve problems, you need to take input from a lot of people. You have to have an open mind. Engineers are usually pretty like, oh, I know everything, and they're pretty arrogant sometimes. They will not listen to other people. But to solve problems, you need a multidisciplinary team. You will learn so much from the way other people think, and different age groups. And that's a very important thing for us. Listen to the people. So those are the 2 rules. That's the whole secret of waste management. Now, if you think about what we're going to do in the future, this is the 10 careers that will exist in the future. that are coming. Robotics, artificial intelligence, all of these, big data. And I put check marks thinking, I need this in waste management. So somehow, if you're looking to have, a career that's going to be around for the next 50 years, this is what you need to be doing. But in all of these are applicable to waste management. And in waste management, there hasn't been a lot of innovation. It's the last thing people think about. Let's solve the traffic problem, the road problem, let's have the building. How is it that Dubai has the tallest building in the world and doesn't have a proper waste management system? That's insane, honestly. Because not a lot of attention, not a lot of money is put into waste management. It's like people forget about it. Out of sight, out of mind. So you need to bring this up more. The community needs to say, we want a solution, a sustainable solution. So all of these areas are applicable to waste management, and we are hoping to see a lot more innovation in waste management in the next few years. So this is another of the drawings from this artist from Germany. And this is really our goal. It's a circular economy, taking things that we've taken from the earth and making something that's beautiful and useful for the earth. If you look at nature, the way Allah designed the earth, there is no waste in his design. The only things we have waste is when humans get involved. We don't design with the end in mind when we design. And that's another big thing that needs to happen. The way we design things has to change. And I think IKEA is making a whole big stride in how they're designing their furniture and things. They're doing very sustainable design coming out of Sweden in their new products, where you can reuse it, convert it into something else later on. So look at their new products coming out of IKEA. But this is the goal. So I'll tell you what's this EPFL program. École Polytechnique Fédérale Lausanne. I've had 18 students from the Masters in Energy and Sustainability in Ras Al Khaimah. And they've gone to IRENA, they've gone to ABB, Nestle, but we've actually hosted 18 students since 2014. And they come up, they stay for 8 weeks, most of them, unless they're doing a master's thesis. In that case, they're with us for 6 months. And we've had 3 master's theses. So one of the things that we had them do right away is residential source separation. So we found a program. What's the best, most innovative program in the world? I think it's out of Sweden, Norway. It's Bag in the Bin, where they put their trash not into 14 huge bins, but into bags, color-coded bags, which are then sorted robotically at their sorting plant. So we started with that, and this is Felix. He was with us for 6 months, and he helped design the box and different things like that. And we implemented that. So we were already like on our version 4 of that program for residents, separating with free waste bags that we've given them, brown and green bags in Ras Al Khaimah. And this is just the data about, this was, right now, 72% of the waste in the UAE is landfilled. That's not good. What's coming is Vision 2021 is over. Next year, the Ministry of Climate Change will give out the 2030 strategy, 2035 strategy, which will be the circular economy with a view to zero waste. And in Ras Al Khaimah, we went from having only 4% diversion in 2014, we're now at 18%, without spending hardly any money. Very few dirhams were spent. But we did pass the Bargeo regulations, which require source separation of construction waste, and we started a hotel segregation program, because hotels have beautiful waste streams, lots of recyclables, a lot of plastic bottles and cans. So this is a big detail of all the projects that the students worked on since 2014. And the very first one, where Max and Luca worked on it, they developed a program showing that making alternative fuel from waste was really the best thing to do. And we've gotten to that conclusion now in 2019. It's really hard to hear, isn't it? I don't know who's talking. So this is a big detail of all of the programs that we've done since, and everything that they've done, we've implemented. We've become more efficient. Like this operational efficiency for our trash trucks, they studied it, gave us a recommendation, we implemented it. But the biggest ones came from the master's students. And they did a study on organic waste and how to increase recyclables in the emirate, because we didn't have an engineering team. And after these two students, Aida and Mateo, graduated, we hired them. They became our first graduate employees. So 2016, we finally had an engineering team. And we continued with this program. And this is what happened when we implemented these studies from the organic waste, because you realize we have almost 30 to 40% organics, which means food waste. 40% of what you're throwing away is food, which is crazy also. And the hotels have a super high food waste. To tell you, like, Rixos is 2 tons a day. The other hotels are also verging, the large hotels like Doubletree Marjan, 2 tons a day. Lots of food waste. So we started this sustainably group with the hotels. We got tourism. Tourism gives hotels the stars. The municipality food control. You need partners. They inspect the kitchens for cleanliness, and they control the cooking oil, because that's also can be turned into a biofuel. So this has started. We're now in our 4th year, and every year we give awards to the best performing hotels. People like to get awards. The other big thing was to educate people, and that food can be converted into compost. So we started with the fish markets and vegetable markets in Ras Al Khaimah, talking to all the vendors to separate the food waste in a brown bin and the recyclables in a green bin and the general waste in a black bin. And now we have composting machines in each of in the Marid fish market, which the Minister of Climate Change opened it, and at the veg market. And we give away the compost to the farmers for free if they want it, and they bring us back what they grew with it. So by end of this year, we will have five total food treatment centers. At the Hamra Mall, we have a PowerNot food digester, which is from the US, from San Jose, and it converts food waste into wastewater. Okay? So all, like Spinneys, all of the food outlets in the Hamra Mall, they're asked to bring their food waste to this location after they close. We're open till like 4 in the morning, and we turn it into wastewater. And the wastewater then uses it and provides irrigation water. And that goes back on the Hamra golf course. So it's very nice, very beautiful. We're hoping to expand this to the other malls. And then we're also always looking for new developments in composting. This is a new machine, the Waste Master from Australia. And we did a trial at the Waldorf Astoria. Because the problem when you have a machine and a human is the human will screw up something. So this machine eliminates human error. And it makes beautiful compost. And it was a trial machine. We had seen it at the La Pita Hotel out at IMG Worlds. I think that's what it's called. So we got it. Ras Al Khaimah had the machine as the second user. And it's currently at is it still Atlantis? It's now at Atlantis. And we actually loved the machine so much we bought 2 of them. So they should be delivered by December. And we're going to have them at our slaughterhouse because it can digest meat and dead chickens, things like that. And we're going to put the other one in across from RAC Academy, where I have 3,500 students. Because it's very hard sometimes to get students to go on a field trip. The buses, the planning, it's going to be across the street from them. And that's the largest school area. Plus, we have the RAC Hotel near there. So our goal is to get the restaurants to bring their food waste, the hotel, and the school. And then the students can see what can happen. But all of those food hubs was an idea from one of those students, which I thought was a little bit crazy, but it's working. You decentralize food hubs. The other idea somebody had was we were studying the calorific value of our materials, because waste management is really materials management. Waste is just a material in the wrong place, okay? So camel waste, which we have a lot of camels, we have 50 tons a day of camel waste in Ras Al Khaimah. And camel waste has half the calorific value of coal, which is what our cement plants are burning. And Ras Al Khaimah has probably the largest amount of cement plants in the whole UAE. So we decided to ask Gulf Cement if they would do a trial. We would take the camel waste to them, and they could blend it with the coal. And it's working beautifully. 2 tons of camel waste replaces 1 ton of coal. So this is still going on since maybe now almost 2 years. And it's an amazing savings in carbon footprint, and it saves them money. Right now I'm giving it to them for free, but in the future, they're going to pay on calorific value, okay? So this is what we've done to the Earth. This is the third of the photographs from the German artist, which I can't remember his name right now. And this is what we've basically done. We've destroyed the Earth. Not yet. We're not going to. We've taken all the resources from the Earth to make, like the chair you're sitting on. Every part of that came from the Earth. And now we need to figure out how to not use so many of the resources, reuse what we've already had. And the way you do that is, you know, you're not going to learn any of this in the classroom. For you to understand what a material recovery facility is, what a food hub is, if you've never seen one, you don't know what I'm talking about. You need to go and see one. You need to go to a landfill. And then you'll get, oh. When people tell me, like AURAC, the person running facilities, American University Ras Al Khaimah, we told them, you need to separate your waste. And they're like, no, it's like a lot of work. Like, okay, come and see the sorting plant. When you see the mess that comes in and how my guys have to pull out the bottles, it's a disaster. When you see how the trash comes in, then you think, oh, okay, I understand why I need to put it in a brown or a green bag. Why you put organics in a brown bag is so it doesn't contaminate the valuable cardboard. Otherwise, I can't sell it. Nobody is going to buy contaminated cardboard. Okay, and we need to sell recyclables without having to clean them, because that's going to take water, and now you've kind of made another carbon footprint. So once you see how a dirty MRF operates, you'll get it. And on 27 November, that's next week, we're having our ribbon cutting for our material recovery facility, and the Minister of Climate Change will be cutting the ribbon. We've upgraded, and you all are welcome to come and see it. It's at 8:30 in the morning in Ras Al Khaimah, in Kuseidat. So I'm telling people, you have to get out of the classroom and see what's happening. And one important thing is you need to be around other professionals. You need to go on field trips. You need to go get outside and see. I think this is the trip we took up north to see a waste-to-energy plant with the Ministry of Climate Change, and be in a professional association, okay? Almost. And the other thing is, you can't learn everything while you're working. When you're out and doing things that are not related to work, you will get an amazing solution when your brain is resting. So you need to get out, keep a notebook with you. For me, I'm always thinking of trash, and you'll get a solution when you're not really thinking of a solution. So stay out. And your challenge, you know, you learn a lot from reading, and this is to me in waste management. Read a lot, get a mentor, and keep a positive attitude. We will solve the waste problem. We will. And it's something, I love my job because every day I have improved something in Ras Al Khaimah, and all my staff. I have 750 staff. We love our jobs. Every day we're making Ras Al Khaimah clean and beautiful. And it gets you up in the morning. If you don't like what you're doing, change it. Like I said, so that's the answer. And I'll leave you with this quotation that I love from Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, because this represents Ras Al Khaimah and should represent everybody in this room. It says, most people talk, we do things. They plan, we achieve. They hesitate, we move ahead. And when we are living proof that when human beings have the courage and commitment to transform a dream into reality, there is nothing that can stop them. And that's the dream, a circular economy with zero waste. Thank you. I have to give the microphone back.
Thank you, Sonia.